Season 3, Episode 21 of One Man's Opinion. Today I am reviewing Ivoryton Playhouse's production of Jersey Boys, the story of Frankie, Valli, and the Four Seasons, with a book by Marshall Brickman and Rick Elice, music by Bob Crewe, lyrics by Bob Crewe, directed and choreographed by Todd L. Underwood, and running through September 10th at the Playhouse at 103 Main Street in Ivoryton, Connecticut. For years, since I saw the national tour of Jersey Boys, I'd not been a fan of it. I always felt that the show paused way too often to perform the songs of the Four Seasons and not moving the plot forward at all in the process, which is a general complaint I have of biographical jukebox musicals. They tend to pause to pander to the artist's fan base at the sacrifice of story. Story is also a problem with biographical jukebox shows, as the story tends to travel through decades of history, focusing on highlights of story and not developing characters and conflict. But after revisiting Jersey Boys at Ivoryton Playhouse, I feel like I've lightened up on the show. Maybe I've learned to lighten up on jukebox shows and take them more for what they are. Maybe I've learned to appreciate something more specific about the book of Jersey Boys, focusing on the central overall conflict of the musical, which is the quartet's conflict with each other, specifically with founder Tommy DeVito, played by Evan Ross Brody, with the rest of the group as he struggles with his toxic masculinity, gambling, and increasing debts to loan sharks and a mob. The musical follows the rise of the Four Seasons up to its end, and the following solo success of Frankie Valli, played by Sean Burns, featuring classic tracks by the Four Seasons and Frankie Valli, including Big Girls Don't Cry, Sherry, Walk Like a Man, and Can't Take My Eyes Off of You. Something I'm still not a big fan of regarding Jersey Boys is its overdependence on narration. Much of the story relies upon Tommy, Frankie, Nick Massi, played by Brendan McGrady, and Bob Crewe, played by Michael Notardanato, essentially starting each scene with one of the four setting up the scene for the audience. It's telling, not showing, which is generally a fundamental error in storytelling. Still, Ivoryton's production is pretty good, depending on the vocal performances of the four men leading the show, especially Burns' falsetto vocals as Frankie Valli, which are excellent. Being that Valli's voice is very specific, Burns' vocals are his strongest suit, as his acting is a little stiff. The other three give solid turns. I like Evan Ross Brody's posturing and arrogance as Tommy. Brendan McGrady has a great light heart as Nick Massi, and Michael Notardanato is wonderful as the musical visionary of the group. Director Underwood has kept the show fairly simple. He, along with designer Cully, has kept the scenic design simple, not overdressed, and Underwood's choreography stays tight and direct. I think that's part of why I may enjoy this more than the national tour, is that it isn't so flashy that I feel like the story is being overshadowed by design. Instead, we are drawn in toward the performances more, which is a smart choice. Jersey Boys is a pretty simple story. Band members meet each other, they get along and succeed. Then the toxic elements that were there from the beginning, or just the simple character traits for others, end up bringing the group to their end. The conflicts are simple and easy to navigate, but most of all, as these shows tend to be, it's a celebration of the music of the Four Seasons. Is it possible that Tommy DeVito is a far more difficult person to deal with than the show indicates? I wouldn't be surprised if he was, but that's what these jukebox shows tend to do, not make their heroes be too unlikable because they want the audience to celebrate the music of the artist. Ivoryton Playhouse keeps the show simple, lets the story speak for itself, and has the quartet of the Four Seasons pop with great classics. But I am only one man's opinion, so be sure to leave yours in the comments below. If you'd like to see Jersey Boys, I'll leave a link in the description. I'd like to thank my patrons over on Patreon for all their support. I appreciate everything. You too can be a patron and support the show by going to the link in the description to my Patreon page. Any little bit you can give will be much appreciated. I'll also leave a link to my new show, Yesterday's Matinee, a podcast where I discuss with a few friends classic cinema. You can also support my show by liking, sharing, and subscribing, and click the notification bell to be alerted to future reviews. My next review will be Beauty and the Beast at Legacy Theater. Thank you for watching, and I will see you at the theater.